and I can read book. Pish and Posh. By Barbara Bottner and Gerald Kruglich, pictures by Barbara Bottner. After dinner, there was a loud thud outside the front door. Pish, yelled Posh, Pish's very best friend. Someone left us a present. The fairy handbook. We are not becoming fairies, said Pish, after she finished her pudding. I think becoming a fairy is a good idea, said Posh. Most of your ideas turn out to be very bad ideas, said Pish. Anyway, you have to finish the dishes. I am going to work on my puzzle. Posh wondered if a fairy could clean up a sink faster than she could. She flipped open the book. Chapter 1 was how to clean dirty dishes. Posh thought about how Pish liked to read books from the beginning. But she was Posh, not Pish. The book read, just clap, sing the second line of your favorite song, jump backward, and... Posh got the idea. She clapped, sang the second line of Yankee Doodle, or was it the third line, and jumped. Nothing happened. Are you finished? Asked Pish, who was always getting things done. Posh went back outside to practice. On the steps now sat a shining wand. She grabbed the wand and ran into the sink. The pile of dishes looked even bigger than before. Posh didn't have time to read a long, boring chapter about wands. She waved the wand hard, and it flew out of her hand and hit the sink. Water gushed from the faucet. Soap poured over the sink. Mountains of suds slid onto the floor toward the living room. My puzzle is getting wet, called Pish. Well, doing the dishes was a terrible idea, said Posh. It was a good idea, said Pish. But the suds need to stay in the sink. Pish ran to the kitchen and slipped on the soapy floor. Posh laughed. Don't even speak to me, said Pish. So Posh didn't speak to Pish. Pish got up and slammed the faucet shut. There, said Pish, in that certain way that meant she was pleased with herself. Have you been fooling with that silly handbook? Did you read the directions? Asked Pish. It was a long chapter, said Posh. How did Pish know everything? Pish frowned. Why are you so frowny? Asked Posh. I am frowny because I fell. I got wet. And I did not finish my puzzle. Promise never, ever to use the fairy handbook again. Posh promised. That night, Chapter 8 fell open. It said, making things reappear. This time Posh would read all the directions. She sat down to begin, but Pish yelled. Time for bed. The next morning, while Pish finished her puzzle, Posh lay in the hammock and watched the clouds. Izzy, the boy next door, stopped by. My dog, Stan, is lost, he cried. I am learning fairy magic. I can make him reappear, said Posh. He is small. He likes to swim and hide under the bed, said Izzy. Making things reappear was not easy. Someone like Pish could probably do it. But she was only Posh.